For a player used to winning fights, overpowering opponents, hoisting Stanley Cups, losing control is difficult to accept.
When we've started to see changes in him was in 2015, and it started with they thought that he had vertigo. He was treated for vertigo over and over and over again. And into the beginning of the season in 2016 is when they ended up saying that it was due to a concussion. Then we believed that because he had gotten knocked out and he went into the locker room and couldn't breathe and fainted, and he wasn't able to play the rest of the playoffs.
Nobody knew what was wrong. Frustration set in. The following season, Bryan Bickell's numbers fell. He spent more time in the AHL than in the NHL, and he was away from home a lot more than he'd like.
Bryan and I, we went back and forth so much of trying to figure out whether something's physically wrong with him or whether it's all mental.
In June, he was traded to Carolina. There were still nagging, inexplicable, undiagnosed sensations.
I've been through injuries and things in my career to know something, wasn't right.
I ended up speaking with him on the phone, and there were some worrisome things that he talked about, that he was clumsy on the ice and he wasn't moving the way he usually did, and he felt sometimes like his legs weren't doing what he wanted them to do. It was worrisome enough to me that I felt like we needed to look for something more.
Bickell had an MRI. A day later, Dr. Bloom called, asked Bryan to come back.
He brought me in his office, and his body language was, something wasn't right. He just told me you have an MS.
Multiple sclerosis, it's basically the development of these plaques in the brain, and wherever they arise, they can impact neurologic function.
They can't tell me what's going to happen to Bryan because it can be one extreme to another. He can be fully functionable and have no symptoms to being paralyzed.
For me and my family to go through this, we needed to be very positive and not to be down and pick each other up. And the mental side of it was a big test for us.
Bickell started taking a medication called Sabri. It allows him to focus on things within his control.
For him, his pride in doing what he's done his whole life is, he's able to have that back in a sense and know that, okay, I'm still a great hockey player. I just had this that was prohibiting me.
The days and months went on, it got better, so, getting back with, the team and being around the guys that kind of, the support, and they kind of, drove you to get better and to get through it.
There's Bickell, centering pass, waiting, firing, scores! Newberry!
The comeback is a work in progress. It's taken him away from home and his girls again, but it's a stride in the right direction.
Michaela.
Yeah.
2 more sleeps, I'm gonna see you, okay?
Okay.
You wearing your dress?
Yeah, my blue.
Your blue dress?
Yeah. Bye today.
Love you too, honey.
You give your daddy a big kiss? Mwah.
His heart is set on returning to the NHL. He's determined to keep playing. His family is behind him.
There's no reason that this has to stop your career. You should be able to retire because you want to, not because MS took it from you.
My family, they definitely motivate me and help me. Get me through this, and just the positive and the willing and that they gave me to, live my dream. if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't, be here, and I'm just happy to have them.